The question is, did the Igbos of Nigeria carry a memory of Israel in their blood and stories? Meet Eri, the name that connects a people to an ancient past. My name is Yeshayahu. I'm here to narrate a story linking Israel and the Igbos. Eri is the founding ancestor in Igbo tradition, a leader who settled at the Niger-Benue Conference and began the Eri civilization. The name Eri also appears in the Hebrew Bible as the grandson of Yaakov's son, Gad. And over centuries, many Igbo traditions, purification rites, title system, sacred taboos has been linked to ancient Israelite practices. How did Eri come to an Igbo? In the days when Israel dwelt in bondage and scattering began after the Assyrian conquests, a remnant from the tribe of Gad journeyed away from the lands of captivity. Among them was a man called Eri, whose name meant watchful, sentinel, or awakened one. He was known for righteousness and peace. When his people were captured, he sought the counsel of the Almighty, and it was said that the spirit of Chukwu led him southward, far from the wars of men, to a land chosen for rest and renewal. Now, the next thing we have to talk about is the migration and the journey of Eri. Eri and his kin traveled by the path of the Nile through the wilderness of Nubia, across the highland of Kush, and down the rivers that fed into the western lands. At each resting place, he built altars and offered sacrifices, such as his fathers has done in the days of old, offering animals and swords to the creator of heaven and earth. He was said to have crossed the great waters, now known as the Niger-Benue Conference, guided by divine signs, the movement of birds and the voice of wind, until he came to a fertile valley where the earth spoke peace. That place would later be called Aguleri, meaning the settlement of Eri, or the primordial place of Eri. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is Eri's settlement and divine commission. When Eri reached the land, he found it was empty and swampy, yet filled with spiritual presence. He offered sacrifices to Chukwu and asked, "If this is the land thou hast chosen, let the earth receive my offering." He poured the blood of his sacrifice upon the ground. The earth accepted it. From that moment, he declared the place holy, naming it Eri Akachukwu, the ancient place of the hand of God. Eri's descendants, Nri, Aguleri, Anoja, Igala, and others became the founders of the early civilization around the Omambala, which is present Anambra Valley. Eri taught them laws of justice, purity, sacrifice, kinship. He established the Ofo, symbol of truth, Ikengas, the strength, and which mirrors the Torah morals and priestly order. Now, there are various laws in Igbo land that came with Eri's journey that links the Igbo people and Israel. Eri's journey mirrors the exile of mirrors that Israel in exile. It mirrors Israel in exile. It came as a bondage and sought divine rest. Both accounts of the story shows that he came here out of exile. So now, laws that link Igbos to the Torah. We have the one in Leviticus 12:3, which is, "On the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised." This is the law of circumcision on the 8th day. The Igbo people, every Igbo male child is circumcised on the 8th day after death, a custom older than colonial religion. It is called Iwanwa or Ibeogu. This Iwanwa and Ibeogu simply means to dedicate or to cut the foreskin of a child's genitals. That's circumcision. It marks covenant belonging to the community, just as in ancient Israel. Number 2 is purification after childbirth. The Torah says in Leviticus 12 from verse 2 to verse 4, if a woman conceives and bears a male child, she shall be unclean for 7 days. In Igbo tradition, after childbirth, the woman observes what we call Izunwa. Izunwa is a period of isolation in the week that a woman have to undergo before joining the household or touching sacred objects. This also aligns with the Levitical purification laws regarding ritual cleanliness. Then number 3, we have the Thanksgiving after safe delivery. According to the Torah, in Leviticus chapter 12 verse 6, when the days of her purifications are completed, she shall bring to the priest a lamb for a burnt offering and a pigeon for a sin offering. Our sages explain the lamb for the burnt offering and the pigeon for a sin offering. The sin is if in any way she must have said something wrong while in labor and in pain. Now in Igbo tradition, when a woman completes her purification, her family performs Thanksgiving sacrifice, often with chicken, kola nuts, and yam to the Creator, and Thanksgiving to the ancestors for the safe delivery. This reflects the Korban Todah, that's the Thanksgiving offering of ancient Israel. Number 4, we have the respect for oaths and vows. In the Torah, according to Numbers 30 verse 2, when a man vows a vow unto Adonai, he shall not break his word. Then Numbers 30 verse 8 says, if a husband hears and disallows it, he shall make it void. That is laws of vows. In Igbo practice and Igbo tradition, an oath which is Ibandu, is sacred and binding. Breaking it brings spiritual judgment. The father or husband can annul a vow made by his daughter or wife, identical to the Torah law. We have another one, which is the first fruit offering. That's number 5, the first fruit offering. You shall bring the first fruit of your land into the house of Adonai your Elohim. That is Exodus 23 verse 19. In Igbo tradition, we have the New Year festivals, which celebrates the first harvest. The first yam is offered to God and the ancestors before anyone eats. This is the same as the Bikurim. That's the first fruit law in Israel, where the first and the best of its kind are offered to the Creator. The next is the prohibition of eating blood. According to the Torah, you shall eat no manner of blood, whether of the fowl or of the beast, according to Leviticus 7:26 verse 27. In Igbo tradition, during animal sacrifices, the blood is drained and never eaten. It is poured on the earth or at the sacred places to the Creator. The people eat only the flesh, echoing the Torah's command. Number 7, we have separation of clean and unclean animals. The Torah said in Leviticus 11 verse 2 and 3, though these are the beasts which you shall eat, whatever parts the hoof and chews the cud. According to Igbo tradition, the Igbo avoid animals considered arrow, which is abomination, like the snakes, the pigs, the vultures, and certain fishes. Each lineage has also taboos about what to eat and what not to eat, which reflects the Torah's dietary separation. We have number 8, the ritual bathing after having in contact with the dead or impurity. The Torah says, he that touches the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days. He shall wash his clothes and bathe in water. That is Numbers 19:11-12. In Igbo tradition, anyone who touches a corpse must undergo cleansing rites, that is Yeshayahu. Before entering the sacred place, he must abstain from touching holy things until that bit, which justifies the Torah's prescription. Number 9, judgment by elders and witnesses. The Torah says, at the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. That is Deuteronomy 17:6. Then in Igbo tradition, the council of elders sits in judgment or dispute relying on witnesses' oaths before Chukwu and Allah, which must be done with the evidences of more than one person or testimonies of more than one person. Then number 10 is resting from work on sacred days. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. On the 7th day is a holy day of Hashem your Elohim. That is Exodus 29-10. In Igbo tradition, though the Igbo week is 4 days, aka Oria for Anoko, each town observes one as its holy market day when a heavy work and farming stop. It's a sacred day for sacrifice, rest, community gathering, just like the Shabbat in the Torah. Most generally in Igbo land is usually Eke, and many other communities have special days they do theirs. These and many more are the laws that connects the Jewish people, including burial, laws of childbirth, laws of a whole lot of things that connects the Jewish people and the Igbo people. So the question remains, are these people related by blood, or are they mere coincidences? Thank you very much, and I remain Yeshayahu Uriel Ben Shaul. Tudaraba.